What exactly happens when you have a spiritual awakening? And what do you do next? Hi, Awakened One. This is Rainy Maida Chang, spiritual teacher, ascension guide, Akashic record consultant, and energy healer. And what do you do? That's a big question that I've been asked once you have that revelation of saying to yourself, hey, you know what? The way I've been living, I don't want to live anymore and I want to change. That is what a spiritual awakening is. So if you didn't get a chance to look at my previous video, please check it out. And I go over what exactly a spiritual awakening process can be like. But today I want to talk about what happens next when you realize to yourself and to the world, oh my gosh, the way I've been living, I want to change. I want to remedy. I want to shift. I'm not happy with what I have been doing. That is the gist of that spiritual awakening moment. In that moment, after this happens, the person goes through this stage of realizing they don't want to be in the victim stage anymore. Typically, right before you have that moment, that aha moment, everything is as if it was against you, being in the victim stage. This happened to me. This happened against me. Why is everything not working out my way, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Putting the blame on the outside world versus really looking at what's happening inside you. What is happening in your outside world is a reflection of what is happening inside you. So if you have a lot of negative thoughts running in your body, feelings, just lower vibration emotions, that is going to be portrayed to your outside world so that all the bad things that are happening outside are really just that reflection of what you're feeling inside. So when you're feeling that self-love, that positivity, and all those wonderful higher vibration emotions, that will be reflected to you on the outside. So that's why when you are in the victim stage, everything that seems to be going wrong is because you've been feeling that within your own body. So when that person has the spiritual awakening moment where they have that revelation of saying, whoa, I want to change this, then they shift. And it's just a shift in your perspective. It's just a little click to say, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to do something better. I want to do something different. And that is that moment. When you have this new shift, this new perspective of life, you really look within to see what you have been thinking and feeling. And then you start to remedy and change some of that. So I'm going to give a story about one of the spiritual awakening moments that I had when I was a lot younger. I want to share this story because I think it's important to know that we all go through these moments. And it is a beautiful process of growth and learning the lessons that we have to learn to be here on this beautiful earth in this free will realm. So it's a really, even though it was hard in the moment, and I've had many multiple hard moments in my life, I'm really grateful for them because it's brought me to this moment in time, sitting here today talking with you guys. So for me, I was younger and I was in a place where I didn't have a lot of self-confidence. I didn't have a lot of self-love. That was a big lesson that I started to learn from a very, very young age, that was something that I needed to remedy within my existence here on the earth at this time. I had become sad and depressed and was really tired of looking at myself negatively and just really at a place where I was just done. I didn't want to keep doing it anymore. It had been years and years of me having those revelations and those moments, and then having a plateau and then having it again and again, where finally one day I realized, oh my gosh, I got to stop having this low self-esteem, this lack of self-love, and I need to change it and remedy it in this moment in time. So I stopped looking outside for validation. I stopped looking outside for people to tell me what their feelings were about me, and I started to look within. And that honestly is where all the answers are for ourselves. Nobody in the world has the answers for you. Only you do. And your divine intelligence, the source above gives you that information, and you have it all inside. When our souls come down to the earth, it's kind of like, and I'm sure some of you have heard this before, but there's this veil that we go through where we get amnesia, where we don't know what our souls were like before we came down here. We don't know how powerful we are. We don't know all the gifts and beautiful things about the other side. So we come down here to experience it, to experience Earth in this free will realm, like I said, but also to experience all the beauty of Earth and learn the lessons that we said we were going to learn. So when that moment is, when we come down, we get amnesia. And we have to start all over. So, those answers about the truth of who we really are inside us. All those answers are within. And I had to stop and look within to recognize what lesson I was to learn in that moment and to have that conversation with myself to say, these are the things that you chose to be when you came down here on this earth. And these are the things that you are to love about yourself. That was my lesson. And to get outside of victim mode, to get into truly loving myself and everything about myself, every single thing. And I know everybody has things about themselves that they don't like, and they have a list like A, B, C, D, E, F, 1, 2, 3, right? You go through the alphabet, then you start counting the numbers down. We all have those feelings about ourselves. But when you are in the process for self love, for example, you have to look at all those things and really appreciate them and love them and take the time to look at each one to say, wow, that is me. I'm so excited about the fact that that is me, that is unique to me, because there is no other soul on the earth that is just like you. You are unique and this individual, and you are beautiful. So, that is something really important on this process of spiritual awakening when you have to take the next step to say, what do I do? The next step is to really stop listening to what other people say and start listening to yourself. We all have intuition. We all have those gut feelings, and we are all in tune to intuition. But some of us just don't utilize those skills. So, a lot of the time, we look to the outside world to give us the information when really the answer is inside. So, when you get that gut feeling and you're thinking, should I go to the grocery store the left, or should I make a right when I go to the grocery store? What is the thing I should do? And you might ask somebody in the car with you, where do you want to go? What do you think? And they might say, go right, but your gut is telling you, go left. Once you work on your intuition and you start to grow that feeling within yourself, you start to trust yourself more. And then you start to shift and change. Your body might change, your likes might change, your music might change, the way you dress might change, your views might change. Things start to shift in your life. And it sounds pretty wild to say, but it's like a rebirth. You start to expand and shift and transform into the new person that you are being, especially if it's something that's a big spiritual awakening process, like your job or about yourself. Those moments come, and all of a sudden, the world opens up because that perspective has shifted and now it's more open and different. After that, then you start to listen to yourself and you start to see the strength and power of who you are, and you start to feel the confidence within about what you feel and what you're thinking. I've had so many moments in my life where I've heard people say, I was supposed to go to this place, and then that morning I realized I really don't want to go. And thank goodness that they didn't go and they listened to their gut, because something had happened there and they were not meant to be there, and they listened to what their body is saying. So we all have these gut internal intuition feelings, and you want to start to hone in on those. And one of the ways to do that is to realize meditation, clearing the mind, stilling the body, grounding into Mother Earth. those are some ways to help you stop being so all over the place. Another thing that's really important is to really work on healing your central nervous system, your vagal nerve. I spoke about it in another video. Go check that one out, where we have our sympathetic system and our parasympathetic system. The sympathetic system is the fight or flight. The parasympathetic system is the rest and digest. We were not meant to live on this earth with the heightened stress and anxiety that many of us present. Actually, studies have shown that we were originally meant to have it for 20% of our lives, and the rest of our existence should be about 80% in rest and digest. So the 20% is used, that fight or flight is used for when you are being chased by some ferocious animal and you're like, I gotta get out of here. That's when the fight or flight should be kicking in. Not when you've got meetings and work and you've got to go bake a cake for your kid's school and then you got to go get this from Target and blah, 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 blah. We have a tendency of taking the stress on and then we pile it up and pile it up and pile it up, and it becomes a hard existence because we're constantly in this fight or flight. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Where really we should be relaxed, calm, shoulders down, deep belly breaths. And it's not easy, yes, but when you work on your vagal nerve and you work on your parasympathetic system and you work on doing the belly breaths, you actually can train that vagal nerve to not heighten up when someone says, "Hey, by the way, that report's due in an hour." You could be more aware of saying, "All right, I'll work on it," versus, I got to do it. Right? So that's a really important part of the spiritual awakening process. And part of the next step is to really calm yourself so you can listen to your own body, your own gut. Then comes the fun part where you start to learn and do a lot of research. You start to read books. You start to watch a lot of educational videos or movies or podcasts or videos like this about what the process is and about spiritual awakening and helping you find what really is important and really jives with you. So it's a beautiful time right after you have that aha moment to delve into all the research that's out there. With the invention of the internet, there's so much you can find about it, and there's so much you can watch and read. There are many, many, many books out there, many, many famous healers that are sharing this education with us to help us broaden our understanding and help us on our path. Remember, this is a journey. There is no right or wrong. It's just what is, and how it is exactly the right way. So be kind to yourself and just be here for the ride. It's a lot of fun. There is work involved, but it is a beautiful, exciting learning experience. Please give a like, share, comment. I'd love to know where you are on your path, and subscribe. I love you, and I'm sending you guys so much healing, so much growth, so much harmony, and so much peace. Bye for now.